Hey everybody, it's Lucas. You have not heard from me for a while. I'm going to explain why here in a few minutes, but I just got a notification saying that my phone is about to die, so I'm going to plug in my charger real quick and then I'll get straight to it. Find my charger. Okay. Sorry guys, I should have done this before I started the video, but it's been a long day, so. I don't know if you saw in the right hand side of the screen, but my arm is in a cast, so I'm going to explain what's been going on with that situation as well. So it's I'm not saying it's going to be a long video, but it's not going to be a short one either, so. Anyway, I haven't been making any videos lately because I don't know how many I've made by now. I kind of lost track, but there's not really that many people that like them or subscribe to my channel or even send me a message, let alone, so I don't know, at that point when I realized that, I just felt like I didn't really want to waste any of my valued time, and I didn't want to waste anybody else's curiosity or time either, I guess, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I haven't really been making videos because of that reason, and just because everybody gets caught up in their own life and shit. I've been going through some bumps here lately. I'm better than I was doing, though, I will say that. Came a long way. By the way, this is kind of going off topic, but I'll get back on topic after this. But this just popped into my head for some reason. I don't know if anybody else is ever I don't even really know how to put this in words. I'm trying. Hold on. I feel like you ever just feel like you're missing something in your life, but you don't know what the hell it could be, or what it could be, I guess you could say. It's almost like an empty, feeling. Literally, you feel empty. Because, it's just really hard to explain. I'm trying really hard. I get deep in my mind like this, and then, once I get so deep, it's hard for me to put shit in words sometimes. yeah, it's like, you know, it's like, okay, it's like meeting up with an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time, and you're like shocked and surprised to see them, and they're shocked and surprised to see you too. And like, right after that, you guys like start talking, and then all of a sudden, you get hit with a question that you don't really know how to answer it. And like, the whole answering the question in it of itself is like a whole different story. But like, you don't really know how to answer the question, because I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I don't like answering somebody's question if I don't know the real answer. And I definitely don't like telling somebody a white lie just to try to soothe it over, just because I don't want to help them out or whatever, you know. So like, it's like, okay, you're meeting up with this or you meet up with this person out in public that you haven't seen in a couple of years. You guys get caught up in a conversation, and then little be known, either you or the other person ends up just spitting it out and says, so how's life been? Now, I don't know about you, but that's like a real strong 4-letter or 4-worded sentence. And it's funny that I say that, because like, I used to get asked that a lot, and I didn't really realize what I just said until I got a little bit older. It's really fucked up. But yeah, so physically, as far as I know, I'm doing okay. I don't know if I told you guys this or not. I actually I made a video a couple nights ago, and it was real late, and I was tired, and I pressed the upload button, and I just set my phone down and passed out, and I figured it'd be done uploading by the morning, but for some reason, I still don't know why. Maybe it was because I lost internet that day. But for some reason, it lost connection and like fucked up the whole thing, and I lost the whole download. Or the upload, whatever you want to call it. So, that unfortunately did not get uploaded. But, as I was saying, I don't know if I mentioned it. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I couldn't have mentioned it because I didn't post the video. So, I don't know, maybe it was like a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago at the most. My right leg, I woke up one morning and my right leg, like down by my shin, like on the front of my shin, where my like bone is, you know? Like, I woke up with this weird fucking, like, feeling in it. Like a numbness throb, barely, like, throbbing, but it was still a little bit of a throb, and it was numb too. And there was like a little bitty, like, spot, but it had no holes in it, so woke up and I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was freaking the fuck out. It wouldn't go away. And like, the first day I noticed it, it wasn't really that hurting that bad. It was just numb. Second day, I couldn't even barely walk. Then the third day, it was alright. And the fourth day, after I got the antibiotics, after like 2 full days of the antibiotics, I was pretty good. So I had it for about 5 days, but it was like red and swollen, and it just would not go down. I put ice on it, and I tried to do everything I could think of. So I looked up online what it could have possibly been, and I came up across this thing called cellulitis. So I went to the doctor. Behold, that's what I got diagnosed with. She gave me some antibiotics, and I went home. So there's that fucking story. Then, after that happened, and my leg went down and that went away. Can't remember which day it was, but I worked a night shift, and it was a 12-hour shift. It was a 9 to 9, 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. And I was already kind of exhausted before I went in. So when I got off home, I did what I usually do every fucking time I get off work when I come home and I work that shift. I will buy a beer, and I will come home and I will drink a couple beers, and if I have it, I'll smoke a little bit of weed and pass the fuck out. And if I have to work that next day, I set my alarm and I go to work. But if I don't work the next day, and I know I don't have to work the next day, then I usually try to stay up a little bit and, have fun, because life is short, and I'm only getting older by the minute, so, yeah. But anyway, what happened is I worked that shift, and I came home, and I knew I didn't have to work the next, 2 or 3 days. So for me, it was like, yeah, I'm going to go home and drink some beer, hang out with my cousin, and go down and got my other cousins, his sisters, and hang out and drink beer and sit by the fire and just have a good old time, And keep in mind, I'm exhausted. I was past exhausted when I when I pulled in to town from work that morning. And then I turn around and I go buy a half a case of beer, and me and my cousins, maybe I shared with my cousin, which is who I normally share with my beers with, because I hate drinking alone. Unless I'm in the mood to drink alone for some reason, but I've learned that doesn't really get me anywhere besides in trouble sometimes. But other times it's with other people around. Anyway, what happened is I came home, bought beer, went to my cousin's. We went down to his sister's, which is my cousin. They're all my cousins. And I started drinking beer, started smoking a little bit of weed every now and then, just to chill and have fun, because I was off work. And, I gotta have a life too. People gotta have a life when they're outside of work. They gotta have fun. They gotta have some kind of relief, Life's a bitch. So yeah, I was doing that, and then all of a sudden this person that has been there before a couple times pulls up, and keep in mind, this fucking kid, it's 2 or 3 years younger than me, fatter than me, a little bit taller than me, but 2 years younger than me, pulls up in his car with his friend, and they're all driving around, drinking beer, and stopping by. This is a small town, so like everybody knows everybody, and it's like, okay, yeah, he's here, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 blah. So he stops by with his friend, and, you know, it's not his fault. It's also my fault, too, but it's more his fault than it is mine. What happened was, is I was sitting in I was standing under the patio. I had a beer in my hand. I had my black hat on, and I had my sunglasses on, which are like that big, they're black, and blah, blah, blah. Well, he didn't know this, because he doesn't really know me that well, but I did forget to mention the times that he has met me there and seen me around. He's given me like a little smart-ass remarks. You know, those type of remarks where you can tell a person is trying to press your buttons for whatever the fuck reason you don't know. Yeah, that's what kind of fucking shit was going on. I can see through that quickly. And most people don't realize that. But it's okay, because I realize it, and I'm right every time. And I tell everybody, I told you. I was right. But anyway, I was standing there under the fucking, like, patio, garage type deal thing. I had my hat and my sunglasses on, and he's standing there with his beer. His friend's over there doing something, talking to somebody else. Looks up at me and is like, "What's the matter? Is it too bright for you?" And it fucked with me because, like, you know, it's not his fault either. It's like, he doesn't know, but a long time ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, we're only going 4 years now, I had, like, brain coil surgery. I've told you guys this I don't know how many times. But yeah, I had brain surgery, coil surgery, and the brain aneurysm was like, I don't know, maybe that fucking big, and it was right behind my right eye. I could have went blind. So, heaven forbid and forgive me if I like to have my fucking sunglasses on, because my eyes get a little sensitive in the light. But little did he not fucking know that, and it's not his fault. But, on the other hand, it ain't my fault that stupid, young, dumb-ass motherfuckers who have no respect for anybody but themselves have nothing else better to fucking do than to pick on other people. And the only reason they fucking do it is because they're dealing with something about themselves deep down inside, and they don't know how to fucking deal with it. And that's the end of that story too. Oh shit, I about missed that fucking trash can. Anyway, so yeah, that's what happened. That's why I haven't been making any videos, really. I would stay tuned though, because I'm gonna be off work for, looks like 4, maybe to 6 weeks, so I don't know. But other than that, it was nice talking to you. Please subscribe if you want. If you haven't already, leave a message, leave comments. Have a good night.